Welcome to our Excel Mastery series. In this video, we will take you on a comprehensive journey from Excel beginner to advanced user. Whether you are new to spreadsheets or looking to level up your skills, this lesson will cover everything you need to know. Let's dive right in. So, in order for you to start Excel, all you need to do, you need to open your Excel. By opening your Excel, you have several methods. One, if you already have Excel in your taskbar, you only need to select it from here. If not, you can select the Microsoft button and you look for Excel. If it is not available here also, all you need to do is to search for Excel. You type Excel and you can also find it there. Then you can tap it to open. So our Excel is opening. So when your Excel is open, this is the user interface you will get, the welcome screen. As for this moment I'm making my video, it's morning, so that's why I'm having a good morning here. So this is the home welcome screen for Excel. Up here we are seeing some basic templates, and down here we are seeing recent, pin and share with me button. And if you have opened recent folder, you can see them here. And if you want to create a new Excel sheet, you can select this, or you open recent. As for now, this video caters for beginners, so let's see how we can start working from a blank workbook. So all we need to do, we select the blank workbook. Now when your window open, this is the user interface for a blank workbook. As you can see here, we are having our tools that are available in order for us to work with Excel. This is the user interface you will see. Here we have our buttons here. We have our file. As we know, in our file we do our basic stuff, just like how we have our welcome screen. We create our new, we open, we have save and save as, and here from here we can print, share or export or publish our work. However, we have our home, which is the default. Whenever you open a blank document or a document, you come straight to the home button. In this home tab, all we need to do here, we can see we have something we call group, but however we call here the ribbon. The ribbon is being divided into groups. Like for the home ribbon, we have a clipboard group, we have our fonts group, alignment, number, style, cells, editing and add-ins, and also a portion for analyze data. So here we say it is the ribbon, and over here it is the formula bar. Here we used to write formula or we edit our text. It's very functional. As we go along, we see how we use this formula bar, and this formula bar has this three button. Here is to cancel, and here is to commit or you confirm your formula or whatsoever you enter, and here is to insert the function you want. And we come here, we have the name box. It is very important. You know, Excel is being made in the form of row and column. Row are registered in letters and column are registered in number, and the intersection of a column and row is what we refer to as a cell. This small box we see here is what we refer to as a cell, and each cell has its own name. Like for here, I select D4. As we can see, a cell is being described by a column followed by a row. As you can see here, we have D4, so the name of this column is D4. However, with the name box, the power of the name box, we can define our name for our cell. Like for example, if I want to change the name of this from D4, I can change it, let me say, to sales, and I press enter. Instead of D4, now we see sales. And if I put here, let me say 5,000, we made 5,000 sales. If I want to call this cell wheresoever, I can just press my equals to sign and reference it with its name. Its name is sales. So I can type SALES. As you can see here, we have our name range here, our name, sales. Then you can press tab, or we double tap it. Then I press my tab, then I press enter. So instance D4 here, from D4 we change it to sales, and we can call it here. So if I change here to 2,000 or 20,000, you can see here also we change to 20,000. So the name box is very, very important. However, we have what we refer to as our quick access toolbar. Here we have autosave. Right now it's off. If we put it on, automatically to ask us to save. So it's good practice to save though. And we have our save button here, and we have our undo or redo button. Let me say you made a mistake, you want to go one step back or further, you can come in with the redo button. If you want to, undo button, and if you want to go back, maybe you undo over excess, then you can reverse again by redo. And we have a lot of functions that you can add. If you want to add a new document instead of going to file, home, or whatsoever, you can get them here directly. That's why it is called quick access toolbar. You can format what you want. If you know you want to check your spelling most frequently, instead of going to the review or whatsoever, you can just select spelling from here. Or if you want to be doing your print preview as you go along, you can also select print preview, or you add more commands here. It is also very handy. And also we have this man here, which is our title, our book name. Here currently our book name is what we refer to as book 1, because it has not yet been saved. So in order for us to save it, we can select it, then we can save it, say first lesson, and we can choose where we want. Currently it's in my documents and my OneDrive, then I can click save. The file lesson already exists. You want to replace it, then I can say yes, because I've already created it. You can say yes. So first lesson has been. So now if you watch here, we can see first lesson has been saved, and automatically autosave has come on. Excel is very magical. That's why I love it. And we continue. Here is a search bar in which you can find in the recent Excel, as I'm using 365. Others you might not see it, but however, it's very handy for this search bar. You can search whatever you want, just type in, you can get them. Here is my login, and here is our minimize. Here, like, you can resize or whatsoever. Here you can cancel if you want to close your book, if you want to write comments, and also if you want to share. So being this is a beginner edition for Excel, we need to understand all of the tabs and what's their functions. So as we move along, you will not be scared seeing them. So I want to introduce them to you, so as we go along, you'll be able to understand them, and I'll be explaining them briefly so that you can understand. So we come, this is the home, like I said earlier. It is the default whenever you open. Now we have our clipboard. What the clipboard does is that it allows us to cut, copy, paste, and also it has an additional format which we refer to as the format painter. What this do is, like, you have formatted a particular cells or range or whatsoever, and you want to transfer it to another to another data or another session. All you need to do is just to select it and paint, just like you are painting your house. Here you only paint the formula, you can't transfer the value whatsoever. All you need to do is transferring the format that you have done in one work to another work. So it's very, very, very good, and it's very, very handy. So we'll see it as we proceed. So we have our cuts and we have our copy, and at the end, for now, you can see the paste is not active because we have not done anything. So we come to the next, we have our font. Now this font group is something we'll be using as time progresses. Here we are having our fonts, like our handwriting. I can refer to it as our handwriting. We have several types of fonts. Here we can select whatever we want, but most often one thing I came to realize about using Excel, most often we don't care about changing fonts or whatsoever. We just move with the default. But however, for Word program, you can see we change different fonts. However, you can feel free to choose your fonts and walk along. So in order for you to find your fonts, you can find them here. We have series of fonts. If you want, you can download your fonts and install them. And here we have our font size. You can change the size you want as you go along. And here is a helper button for the size. You can increase or decrease your font. Here under tool, we need to bold to make our work stand out. And we have our italic or lace italic. If you want to bend your text, you italize it and underline. If you want to underline your text, use this one. We have several forms of underline, single or double underline. And here we have our border, in which we will see how we use border as we progress. So I just want to introduce this so that when we go along, it will not be something new for you. Coming here, this fill color is mostly used in Excel. We use fill color a lot, and as we progress this, you will see how we go about using the fill color. And here we have our fonts color. You can change your fonts as you want. We have different color of your choice. We have more color if you want, and this is what you do. In order for you to change the color of your font, you select this. So that's all for the fonts family. And now we can come to the alignments group. Under the alignments group, we have 6 alignment buttons here. In Word, you can find 4, but for Excel, we have 6 because we are dealing with box. So we have 6 different positions. So that's why it is being integrated here. And we have our index. We'll decrease or increase our indents. And also we have our orientation. We want our font, our header, whatsoever, our text to be in a certain position. We use the orientation. You can move it 360 or 180 or 45 degree, whatsoever angles you want to put your text. And also we have our text wrap. This one here helps us to fit in our text in a cell. We have our margin center. It's also handy, and we have more tools in there. We have our margin center, merge across, merge cells, and also if you want to unmerge your cell. Coming to the number, here we need to format our number. We can change currency here, our percentages, our comma style. Immediately you have, if you have a number, you introduce the comma to change to a number formatting. We have our increase and decrease decimal, and we have our general here. This is a format setting. We have our general, number, currency, accounting, in which you can choose what format type you want. Coming to the style here, conditional formatting is also highly used, and we will see as we go along. We have different rules, or if you want, you can create or manage your own rule. Then we have our format table. You can format whatever style you want. Cells again is the same. Here, if you want to insert cells or insert column or row, you can do it here. If you want to delete, you also delete row, column, or whatsoever. At the end of the day, if you want to format the height, the size, the width, you can do it here. And also we have our editing, which is also handy. We have our auto sum here, which we will use as we continue along the course. And also we have our fill handle. This is very handy, and we see how we go about them. We'll be using the series, we'll be using the justify, and also the flash fill as we progress along the course. And also clear, we can clear everything. We can clear the format, the contents, or whatsoever. If we have an hyperlink, we can also clear it. Next, we have our sort and filter. Here we can organize our work, or we can choose what we need to see. That's the essence of sort, and filter. We'll use them again as we continue. Find and select. Here you can find, you can replace, you can go to special. We have formula, conditional formatting, or whatsoever. Again, we will do. Then if you have an additional add-in, you can put them here, and this is shortcut is very handy. Discover more about your data. You can analyze your data as you go along. So this is the ribbon for our home button that is being grouped ideally, and I believe we have understand some of this grouping. It will not be new thing to us again as we move along. Next, we have our inserts. Our inserts column also allow us to add things in our sheet or in our workbook. What do you want to have add? What do you want to add? Is it a table? Is it a pivot table? Is it a picture? Or what? Is it a chart? Is it a map? A line? Even if you want to add an additional text, you can add it. You want to add comments. So if you think of adding something into your workbook, this is the right place for you. So it's called inserts. In the inserts, we have our ribbons here. We have our tables. If a table you want, we have our illustrations. If you want to add picture, you want to add shapes, you want to add icon or smart objects or whatsoever, you can do them from here. And also charts. If you want to add charts to your work, we have recommended charts and different types of charts here. We have our sparkle lines, our filter, comments, text, and also symbols. So you might be seeing symbol along. If you want to add them, you can add them here. We continue with our page layout. How do we want our page? Do we want our page in the orientation form? Is it landscape or portrait? With this, you can see how we go about it. So here we have our themes. Themes is very handy. We will see how we play with themes as we go along. And you need to set your page. In order for you to set your page, you come to page setup. You have our margin. What margin you want to work with? Currently, we are working with normal. You can change your margin as you want. We have orientation. How do you want your presentation to be? Is it landscape or portrait? You can see them, and currently we are on a portrait mode. And what paper are we using? We have different types. We have letter, tabloid, legal, or whatsoever. And if you want, most often we use A4. As you can see, it has been distinguished to A4. We have print area. It's very good. Page break, background, print side tool, and scale to fit. And we have our sheet options, and also we have our arrange. Instead of maybe we'll be having an object that we want to arrange, we can put them back of our text, front, or whatsoever. We can use these buttons. Next is our formula. We'll be using formula a lot in Excel because it's most functions, it's effective ways of working are most often formulas, and that's the functions of Excel. It gives you more handy, it makes your hand clean working with Excel because everything you need, you find them in Excel. So if you want to insert formula, you click this button. We have our auto sum. We have a lot of them in which we see recently on our home. We have recently, if you have used any. We have our financial functions. You can see a lot of them. Depreciation, whatsoever, feature value. We have our logical, which we'll use. We have our text function. We have our date and time, lookup, reference, maths. If you need more, you can come here. Engineering, statistics. Excel is huge. It's very huge. Now, define name. We have name range. Like you see, the last time we used name box, we change. You can do them from here. Define name, use formula, create from selections, or whatsoever. Now we have formula auditing. You need to check your formula. Where does this formula coming from? What's the effect? If I do this, what will happen? How can I trace if I made an error? So here all you can have them. Window watch, optional, calculation options. We have our data. We can import and transform our data here from whatever sources. We have our queries and connection, data type, sort and filter, data tools, forecast, and outline. Then review. At the end of the day, when you have work, you need to check your spelling. You need to maybe if you need to check your statistics of your workbook, you need to, if you want to translate, look up, or create new comments or whatsoever, or protect your work, you can find them here. And we have a view. You can normal, page break, or whatsoever. You can zoom in, can freeze pen, which is very handy. We will see you can switch window from here directly, or we can use the macro. We have other automate and help. So ideally, it's very important for us to know these different buttons, because we'll be seeing them, and I do not just want to introduce to you something without having a back-end knowledge about them. However, we'll be using them, and I believe this helps. So we continue. Now let's understand the difference between a workbook and a worksheet. As we can see, a workbook is like a document, and a worksheet form part of that document, like you're having a book with several pages. The book is like a container, and the goods that are inside are the pages. So here, if you can see, the whole document here is our first lesson, which is the workbook, and which contain sheets. We have here sheet 1, as we can see for the moment, and we can add a lot of sheets if you want. By adding sheets, you select the plus button. You see now we have sheet 2 become sheet 3. In order for us to change a sheet name, all you need to do, we double tap the sheet and type the name. So we say intro, then you press enter to commit. And if you want to delete a sheet, all you need to do, you select the sheet and right click, come to delete, and delete it. So we delete this one again. Or if you want to rename again, if you don't want to double tap, all you need to do is to select the sheet, right click, come to rename. And also you can move sheets if you want. So it's very handy and it's very good for us to understand this. So next we continue with editing and entering data. Let's see how we can add data to Excel. As you can see, you'll be confused. I'm just seeing boxes. How can I do? What must I do? How can I type? Where can I type? So it's very simple. You can type anywhere. And if you want to organize your work, you can just select a cell and then begin typing. Just type. For example, this is my first lesson. Then you press enter. Well done, you have done your first typing in Excel. So we have this. If you can see here, I made mention in the previous session that we'll be using the formula bar. Now for example, like see, I type directly from a cell, and I can select this cell, come up here and then type I love Excel. Then I can press enter. Instant. So the formula bar is also handy. So this is how you type in Excel. So now let's do some basic typing. Let's enter some basic information and see how we can edit them. Now I might be having expenses, and I need our quantity, and let me say the price. So you see, just type. So I might need a book. I need, let me say 5. You press the tab to go to the next cell, right? And the price is 25,000. Then you press enter to come down. So I need a computer, and I need one. That's a cost of 4,600. Let's increase the price to 50,000. And you can move with your arrow keys, and I need TV sets, and I need one set as 20,000, and I need a pen of 6 of 200. So now I can come here, I say total expenses. So what happened here is that, if you can see, total expenses overlap to the next cell, but ideally you can see that it overlaps, but it's not. Now, in order for you to have all your words in the cell, all you need to do is to come here, you double tap. I can double tap here. Instant, you can see that it's only on this cell. Or all you need to do, you can come between the column head and you left click and open as you want. It can also work, and I believe this helps because we'll be having this situation. Now let's say you want to edit your text. How can I do it? If I come here, then I want to change my book to let me say chair. All I need to do is to type CHAIR, chair. Instant, it changes. But instead of chair, it's supposed to be chairs, so I need to add the S. So what can I do in order for me to correct this? I can do it two ways, or maybe there are a lot of ways. However, in order for me to do it, I can come to the formula bar here, see the importance of the formula bar, select the formula bar, add my S and press enter. Or I can select this, double tap in it, it opens. You can see the console is blinking here. Then I can type my S and voila. Or I can select it, then press F2. It can give me that functionality again, and we're done. So this is how we enter and edit text in Excel. Now let's come to use basic formula in Excel. So this is sheet we have. Let's learn how to do some basic formula in Excel. So here we are having some grades for our school people, and we have their subjects and their names. As you can see, this is from Excelling. We are learning some basic formula and functions, and we have some of these basic formula and function. We have our sum. We will learn how to use our average, our minimum, our maximum, and also how we use the count function. Basically, in order for you to add, it means combining stuffs together. Like if I want to find the sum of all total mathematics scores, all I need to do is to add the mark for Yusuf, the mark for Lusain, Andrew, and Mohammed, like going 45 plus 51 plus 97 plus 75. That's how we do the traditional way. So in order for us to see this in the traditional way, if I want to find the total for mathematics that students earn, so I can come here. In order for you to perform whatever calculations in Excel, you need to ensure that you begin it with equals to sign. We do it with the equals to sign. So we select the equals to sign, then we select this man, 45 plus 51 plus 97 plus 75. In order for us to commit it, we press enter. So that's the total for mathematics, the total scores for mathematics, and we are expecting 400. And we come again for science. We do the same. We are learning a traditional method. For science here, we say equals to, like I said earlier, in order for you to perform your calculations, you need to begin with an equals to sign. So we say this plus the grade for Yusuf plus Andrew's grade plus Mohammed's grades, then press enter. So that's the total grade for science. This is what we do for all of them. So traditionally, this is what we call, this is the formula we perform. But Excel is very handy, and it has done all the dirty work for us. Excel has done this for us at the background with what we refer to as a function. And the function to perform for this is what we refer to as the sum function. In order for us to call the sum function, now let's say our formula, and this is the function. And let's see how to roll about the function here. We have a function that is called sum, and we want to add. Say sum, you type it sum and press the tab to commit it. You just need to select the range, this to this, you close and then press enter. So we get the same, and you don't need to do for everything. All of these are relatively attached, so you can just here you double tap, you get the same result. So you can see this is very short. You can see here sum to this, and while this you see it's very long. So we'll be using a function in Excel, and these are the basic functions we'll be using in coming up with our formula. So let's see how to go about this. So here we are having grades for our sign, and we want to calculate the total. But now what we need to do, we need to use the sum function. So we say equals to, we type sum, press our tab, then we select all of this number. In order for us to do it, we select shift and use our down arrow, and then we close and then press enter. And again we come here, we select this one. We only need to do one. We select it, we hold shift and we move our right arrow like this and select Control R, which is we fill it right, and that's it. We have another way to doing this. Another way is you select everything. Excel is very sweet, please be careful. So all we need to do is we select the alt and press our equals to sign. As we see here, instant we get our result. Instant. Is that not wonderful? That's why we're here to excel in. So that's how we go about it, and I hope it helps. Now let's see, we want to find the average scores for all of these students. How can we find the average scores for all of these students? In order for us to get the average scores for all of these students, all we need to do, we just need to do one. We say equals to, we have functions that is called average, AVE, and we have our average here. We press our tab and then we select our subjects for undo. Select all of them here, we close and we press enter. So for undo, 65.2 is the average. In order for us again to fill the formula right, as usual, we select from the starting point, then we hold our shift and use our right arrow. To fill it, we say we use the shortcut key Control R. Good. We continue. Now we want to see the maximum score for Alusign, Yusuf, Andu, and Mohammed. In order for us to see the maximum scores, we say equals to, we have a function again that is called max. So we say max. So it returns the highest value. We come again with our arrow, we select the first one here and move down, then we close it, then press enter. So the maximum scores for Andu is 84. Then we can also hold the shift, come to the right, and the shortcut we say Control R. Helps? Let's continue. We come to our minimum. We want to check our minimum. Let's see how we get our minimum value. In order for us to get our minimum value, we say equals to. Here again, the function is called min. So we say min. Come here. We select our first value here. We hold our shift and we come down. Close our brackets and we press enter. Again, we do the same. Select from the starting point, move to the right, then Control R to fill right. Come here again. We want to see how many values are there. We count. Ideally, we get the same value actually. So we say equals to count. If you want to check, we come here again. This is just for us to see how we play about it. Then we press enter. Now we have 5. Of course, all of them will be 5, 5, 5. So Control right. So we see we have 5 values. So this is how we use our basic functions like the average, the maximum, minimum, count, and also the sum. And I hope this helps. However, we come to our next session, which is formatting cells. Like you see here, this one has been formatted. Let's see a raw data. Now this is the raw data that we see, and in order for us to format your cell, for it to look very nice and handy, it's very helpful. So now let's see how we format our cell. For example, in formatting, it depends what you want to do. We just follow best practice. You can format as what you like or what color you love, but you also need to follow a theme. However, you can choose what you like. So I can select from the first one here. I am expecting it to stop here. Then I can come to the fill handle here. I select this, select light blue, and I can increase my fonts. So you increase your font, as you see, and I want it to merge and center. I want it to be at the center here. So like I've shown you on the previous session, now for us to get this from the home, we come here, merge and center, select it. Good. We continue. Now again, we want to merge and center this one again. You can select it, merge and center, and again the same thing for this. Now we use the format painter. We have already formatted that one. You can select it here and select here. Instance, we have it. So you see the power of having these things. Then here also we need to format it. We select from the first one, we use our shift and right arrow. We come to our fill color, we choose this one, and we use a white background. So I select this. Then you can bold it, you increase the size, and you can center it. And you can open this by double tapping here, so we can see everything clearly. So you can select this subjects, you indent them one space, and as you can see, we can add our border here. So in order for us to add our border, we only want to do, you can come here, you can give all border like this, and at the end of the day, for the total here, you can get double line border. So you can play with this tool, it's very handy. Bottom, top and bottom, but only need double bottom because we only have at the top. Then we want to increase this, bold it, as the case may be here, and we are done. So this is just a basic format. Now it's good. So I hope this helps. This is our first lesson. We will continue as we progress in the course. Happy excelling, and once more, my name is Adikalie Bangura. See you for the next course. Goodbye.